Now it's awkward to talk.
Heading to go train. Got my range bag, got my gun bag. Now I got my safety equipment. Medical gear, I'm ready to hit the range.
Hey folks, welcome to the USCCA Concealed Carry Expo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm Riley Bowman. I'm here with Jacob Paulson. We're here with Mr. Tim Schmidt, president, founder, extraordinaire of all things USCCA. And we're so excited because here we are on the broadcast booth stage. You're our first interview. Like, we were kicking it off with the man. So welcome, sir.
Guys, I appreciate the welcome and the kind words. Riley, Jacob, what you guys do for the concealed carry community is simply fantastic, and it's an honor to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you. That's very kind.
Kind words. Now, we're in Pittsburgh. It's different every time we come to a different community with this show.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't realize that the Concealed Carry Expo has been around for years, and we're making the rounds.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the 5th annual Concealed Carry Expo. First one was in West Bend, then we went down to Atlanta, Fort Worth, Louisville, and now Pittsburgh. And of course, every year it just gets bigger and bigger. It's honestly, when I was walking in today, I'm like, oh my goodness, this thing looks like a legitimate expo. It's like, holy moly, how did this happen? And it's great though, because it's just a neat way to connect with like-minded people that really kind of feel or have the same beliefs that we do, that believe that it's super important to be your family and your loved one's first line of defense. And I keep all the news stations over and over. I'm like, people, this is not a gun show. It's all about education, training, and really commitment to be that responsible armed American.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the show has a great feel to it, a great vibe. I mean, we're just getting started, but already there's quite a, I sense a buzz. You know, people are already excited. People are streaming through the doors. We've already had people stop by our booth, excited to come and just see what this is all about. And of course, we have a lot of great interviews lined up over the weekend. Again, you're the guy, we're kicking it off with. So 5 years now into the Concealed Carry Expo, and it's grown substantially in those 5 years. USCCA has also experienced quite a bit of growth as well. So tell us about that. I mean, what's the growth been like, particularly like in this last year or so?
Sure. So I mean, gosh, I reflect back 5 years ago. I mean, the changes are unbelievable. I think maybe 5 years ago we had probably maybe 30 employees. Now we have 256 employees of USCCA. We have a beautiful brand new headquarters. We crossed the 300,000 member mark recently. And I mean, it's a combination of everything's different, but really at the core, it's still all about education, training, and legal protection. And we've really been, like, for example, in the last year, Riley, you asked, the training thing has really been huge for us. We've doubled down on getting more and more certified instructors all across the country, giving them better tools, whether it's curriculum or apps to help them run their classes, to ultimately to get the word out so that we can create more folks like everyone in this room who are the safest, most responsible people with firearms that are going to do the right thing.
Yeah, and right as people come into the Expo Center, the USCCA's mission is on the wall. This massive poster with them. It's humongous. And you can see right there, and that's something I really love. You guys are purpose-driven, you're mission-driven business, and you're not afraid to say, hey, we're here to do something. We have a goal. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, it's by 2022. Tell us about the goal. What's the mission?
Yep, so the mission is by 2022, we're going to educate 10 million Americans, teach them how to be responsibly armed Americans. We're going to protect 1 million USCCA members. And in doing that, by adding that many responsibly armed citizens to our country, we will stop 20,000 crimes. And we figure that out by reverse engineering FBI crime stats. And when you stop 20,000 crimes, you will save 1,000 people's lives. And I got to tell you guys, there are times when every week we have an all-hands company meeting in West Bend, and I'll read emails and stories from members who have explained that here's what happened in my life, and because of my membership, I was able to save my uncle's life. I mean, that stuff gives me goosebumps and will bring tears to my eyes, because these are real stories of people whose lives have been changed. And I mean, there's nothing more powerful, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's remarkable.
And what I love is that goes down the organization. Everyone, from the people who are answering the phone when people call customer service to the people who are writing for the magazine, everyone understands the impact of what they're doing, and they understand that this is not a job. Right. This is a purpose.
The culture and the kind of family-centered environment. At least that's kind of how I think of it. I mean, it's really a key thing for USCCA, isn't it?
Well, it's huge. It's huge. It's one of the things that right when I started the company, when I first hired my first batch of employees, I made every possible mistake. So we had about 20 employees at the time. Half of them I never should have hired. So the culture was horrible. And guess what? When you have a bad company culture, you can't provide good service to your customers because nobody really cares. And so, man, I figured out how to reverse that, which unfortunately meant firing half of them. And that was one of our biggest growth years, so it was kind of an interesting time. But now, compared to back then when we had the first 20 good employees, the culture is even better than it's ever been at 256. And it is like a family. And I want people to come to work at USCCA, at Delta Defense, and be excited about coming to work, because then I know that when our members call in, they're going to get an amazing service, and it's just going to be valuable to them.
Yeah. Well, we've had the privilege of getting to know and meet a number of your team members, including customer service side, instructor training side, all that, and we certainly sense that feeling, that culture that you have is really something I think special.
Oh, thanks.
And I think that probably goes to the way you bring people on board. Like you said, you made some mistakes in the early days, and now you've learned a lot from that, and you guys work really hard to find the best employees.
Yeah, we really do, and now it's really exciting, because nowadays, so the headquarters of USCCA is in little old West Bend, Wisconsin, and in the beginning days, nobody wanted to work for this tiny little company that. Right? But now it's kind of a cool place to work in West Bend and even in Milwaukee. So we're able to attract just fantastic people, people that believe in our values, that believe in the natural-born right to self-defense, which is one of our core values. You have to believe in that if you want to work at this company.
Yeah. Now,
awesome.
I'm going to transition a little bit, because I think something that a lot of people don't understand, too, is a lot of people see the USCCA, and they know that brand as being that insurance thing. And certainly that's a core part of the brand, but I think what people neglect to understand fully is, for you guys, if that's all you did and wouldn't achieve your mission,
right,
that wouldn't be enough, right? So there's so much invested in that business to produce the content, to produce the training, to produce the information. And yes, a USCCA member is protected, but they're getting a magazine, something tangible that they can read through that's high quality. There's classes they can go take. They can become an instructor. They can watch the videos, the things that are being broadcast. That kind of all-inclusive approach to the business is what allows you to reach that mission. I think a lot of people, they just don't see all that.
Right. That's a great point, Jacob, and I feel that that's the case because it's the easiest to understand.
Sure.
Where in reality, so many people think, well, the rubber hits the road with the USCCA membership after I'm forced to pull the trigger. I mean, certainly that is the case, but the rubber really hits the road even more when you go through education class or training classes and you learn about awareness. You learn about threat de-escalation. You learn about how to avoid all of these things, because trust me, you don't want to get to the point where you have to pull the trigger. Right. And so many lives are saved even before the gun even comes out. And that's true. That's the part that's the serendipity that most people don't see until they become a member, until they get into this. It's almost the culture of membership. Yeah. And the culture of membership is continued education and continued learning and continually exposing yourself to how to be the best protector and defender, and it's a lot more than just owning a gun.
Yeah, and it's a journey for all of us. All of us are in that journey, and we all travel it together, and that's how we get better.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You're right, Jacob.
Yeah.
So tell us about tonight's event. This is really cool. You're doing a Proving Ground tonight, and it's live. So I want to hear about that.
Sure. Well, the genesis of the Proving Ground is probably almost 2 years now. And this was so from a self-defense simulation perspective, the biggest challenge is to how do you simulate the adrenal stress response, which that's what changes your body's chemistry. When you're in a situation that you didn't see coming and now you're under attack, it's a lot different than just shooting guns at the range where you don't have that response. And so so Kevin Michalowski, he's the executive editor of Concealed Carry Magazine. He heads the whole content team. He came up with this idea. Let's buy these stress vests where people put these things on, and when the simulated firearm, if you shoot the stress vest and you hit it, it shoots 10,000 volts into your torso. So now it's low current, so it's not going to...
I tried this thing out when it first came out like 4 or 5 years ago. It's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to kill you, but it's going to hurt like heck, which now that trains your body to release a little adrenaline. So now you get that stimulated response. And trust me, the beginning, they were rough. They were super low production quality and a little... I hate to use the term sketchy, but they were sketchy. But the production team has done an amazing job now, and so now they literally have like 14 live video camera shoots, and we've been doing these every other month for a long time. Great way to train, great way to watch and engage your mind. When you're curious, what would I do in that situation? And this is valuable for you to think about it.
Yeah.
So tonight, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we're actually going to have a live Proving Ground episode taped right here, and we're going to have a live after-action report, which I'll have to admit, I wasn't involved in all the planning. I'm not sure how they're going to pull this off. I know they will because they're good, but I'm a little nervous about it. Well, I think it's going to be amazing.
I went up and just looked in the room where it's going to be done, and, I mean, it's intense. Huge screens, cameras everywhere. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. I was talking to some of your production team as well about it, and I think they're kind of where you're at. They're excited, and it's super cool, but they're also, I think, stressed and kind of freaking out, like, how are we going to do this, guys? But I like you, have confidence. It's gonna go off great.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
So Tim, we kind of had a sense for some of the changes and growth and how we got here. People always want to know from you what's next. What's the USCCA going to do next? And a lot of those things are still in development. But what can you tell us? What's the future hold?
Oh boy! Well, so
the pressure's on.
One of the things that I continually focus on at our headquarters in West Bend, Wisconsin, is guys, as we continue to grow larger, it'll be even more and more important for us to be efficient, to be nimble, and to execute quickly. Bigger, faster, better than before. So last year we went to 24/7 member service support. So now our customers can reach us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on social care, on phones, on email, and on chat. So get this, guys, social care. So I know you guys have seen tours of the headquarters. We literally have 24 full-time employees that all they do is they respond to people's posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's important, because we want to connect with our customers on the media system, whether it's a telephone or it's social care or chat or email that they want.
Yeah.
So back to your question, what's on the horizon? Continually improving our member service experience. We want it to be so easy to be a USCCA member. So that means great customer service. That means even better training, even better education, and continually improving the legal protection component, right? The self-defense shield, that always needs to be getting better and better. Right now we're working on, I probably will get in trouble for saying this, but I know we're working on red flag and ERPO protection, because, I mean, that's kind of it's on the horizon, and that's, even though the mainstream media will tell you that that's a good idea, it's an absolutely horrible idea. And good, responsibly armed citizens can get caught up in that, and we want to make sure that they have good protection, legal protection, when and if they do.
I love hearing that. I mean, we just had that red flag law passed in Colorado, and so that officially goes into effect later this year.
In August or something.
Yeah, and so it's on people's minds, and they're worried about that kind of thing.
It is,
Absolutely.
And,
that's exciting.
In addition to some of those developments, we're going to be back next year with the Expo, but next year I think in March. Is it March? I can't remember the dates.
March
in
next
Kansas
year.
City, right, Tim?
Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah.
That sounds right. I think we're all like, I think so.
Way to lead with
That's
confidence.
Right.
We'll confirm in the next.
Speaking of confidence, on the banner behind us here, it says "Carry confidence," and I like that. Is that kind of the new slogan? Newish. I don't know. I see it a lot of different places, right?
That's a new tagline that we've been rolling out, and it really it doesn't just symbolize the carrying of a weapon, but it symbolizes just actual carrying confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have good personal awareness training, when you understand threat de-escalation, that makes you confident.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's one of the biggest values of becoming a USCCA member, is that because of the training, because of the education, because of the commitment that we help you with and the legal protection, you will gain confidence.
Yeah. You know, if we were to say a phrase like that, we'd probably say carry with confidence, but I like that idea of carry confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that with you. Be confident, be well trained, be prepared, and then carry confidence.
Yep.
It's cool. I dig it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, we appreciate your time. We know you got to get to your next appointment. You're going to be a busy man this weekend.
Guys, thank you for letting me be the first person on the show, and thank you for being here. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me that concealedcarry.com, a huge fixture in our community, is willing to spend their time here this weekend. So
well, we appreciate the partnership. Thanks, Tim.
Jacob,
absolutely. Thank
Riley,
you, Tim.
Appreciate it, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Yep, thank you.
Guys, stick around. We're going to be going live here a little bit, a few more minutes with some more interviews throughout all the weekend here, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, live from Pittsburgh. It's going to be a great time. And if you're here, if you've been on the fence about coming to the show, get out here. Make the trip, make the drive, get downtown, and we will see you here at the Expo. It's going to be great. But for those of you who are not going to make it, stick around, stay live with us. We'll be right back with the next one.
Wearing 511 pants for 15 years. They're stylish, they're tough, they're durable, and they're stretchy. Go to logo. Cut to logo.